Hey, what's up there, YouTubers? It's me again, Brian, aka Gamer 55551, and I am back with a review/thought video. And for this one, I wanted to take a look at Netflix's Frankenstein movie, which I finally got a chance to watch and everything on Netflix and all. And for parents out there, it's worth pointing out that Frankenstein is rated R here in the US and all. When anybody thinks the name of Guillermo del Toro, if I'm saying his name correctly, he is, I would say in my view, sort of a unique kind of director and kind of fits in the same category with other unique directors, whether it's like Martin Scorsese or Wes Anderson's or Tim Burton or Quentin Tarantino for the matter though. These directors usually have a interesting style when it comes to shooting their certain films, and Del Toro is certainly no exception to this though. While I'm not the biggest fan of his movies, I've seen several of them, whether it's The Shape of Water to basically Hellboy 1 and Hellboy 2, The Golden Army, and of course he made an appearance in the video game Death Stranding, and I believe he's in Death Stranding 2 on the beach as well. But he has sort of an interesting style when it comes to some of his movies, and I think also he also had a part in the FX show The Strain as well. So to him taking a take on what's considered to be the monster classic Frankenstein, it was very interesting indeed, because we've seen Frankenstein portrayed many times before in the past, whether it's in video games to even movies themselves. To be exact, but to see him do a take on it though was kind of interesting indeed. And after watching the movie last night, which ran for 2 hours and 32 minutes, I will say this one is definitely an impressive movie though, with one little caveat to it though. I may not be the biggest monster film fan out there, but I definitely did come away enjoying this movie nevertheless when watching it on Netflix and all. So I'm going to break it down into what I like and what I didn't like, mixed, not 100% sure about. In terms of what I like, I will say Oscar Isaac, if I'm saying his name correctly, I thought he did a great job playing the creator, who goes by the name of Victor Frankenstein. You learn a little bit of his past history and everything, but you also see his sort of obsession of trying to, in a way, play God, try to bring life, try to resurrect the dead to a certain degree though. You see him sort of speaking with other folks, taking place during what looks like the Victoria era, to be exact, although I could be wrong in terms of the timelines and everything. But either way, his character is sort of interesting, his obsession of creating life or something like that to a certain degree. And you see that when he created sort of this demonstration of what looked like a prototype of Frankenstein at the time though. And of course Jacob Elordi, I thought, I apologize if I'm not saying his name correctly, did a good job playing the creature itself though, so I thought he did a good job with it, and it was very interesting to see that interaction between the two. Eventually Victor Frankenstein is very impressive, his creation, to the point where he starts questioning his creation, to the point where he starts hating it as well though. So it certainly was interesting. I also find it fascinating on two things. One, the creature does not look like, at least like the classic Frankenstein that some of us may remember, with like the bolts in like the head and everything like that. Nor is he referred to as Frankenstein at all. It's often referred to as, he's also referred to as the creature. That's pretty much what his name is. So I thought that was very interesting. They decided to take that approach, to be exact. But either way, I thought that Oscar did a great job playing, Victor Frankenstein though. I also do want to take the next thing is the art style and the directions, and Del Toro is known for doing that to a certain degree, and I thought that it was really neat to the world that they created, ranging from how people act back in the age and everything, to basically even how the creature was designed and everything like that. I mean, the movie in some ways is gory. I won't say over the top, but definitely still gory though, but still from the place where he was created to, in terms of, the creature and everything, to the world itself. So I just like the direction or the world that director Toro made on it. It just looks very fascinating and all. And last but not least, I will say one thing I did like about this film is They split it into sort of two parts, though. The first part, you learn about everything from Victor Frankenstein in terms of his side of the story, ranging from him growing up to not, he didn't really like his dad and everything, having some issues with his brother and everything, to the person that became how he is in terms of creating the creature who would be known as Frankenstein and all. And then, of course, then there's the second part where you learn from the creature side in terms of the events that led to basically near the beginning where he's chasing his creator, Victor Frankenstein, and you learn a little bit about him and in some ways how he was treated by Victor Frankenstein in terms of, and then trying to become like a normal person the best way that he possibly can. So I like the idea of how it broke up in two parts, though. The creator side and then the creature side, to be exact. So I thought that was really neat how they went with that direction with the Frankenstein movie. As far as what I didn't like, mixed, I'm not 100% sure about. I think the only thing I wasn't sure about is that while this movie definitely had a horror theme to it, though, I really didn't find it to be like scary or anything like that at all. I mean, it could be, some might argue it could be just be paying homage to these old horror films or monster films, and that could be true to some extent. But if you're expecting something along the line of The Exorcist or something like that, you might be a little disappointed because I didn't feel like you were going to get that kind of film, though. It's kind of how I felt about when Disney Plus had Marvel's Werewolf by Night, though, which was more like, it was black and white and more like paying homage to old monster films and everything. And that's kind of how I felt like with Netflix's Frankenstein, though. This is more like paying homage to the classic character and everything. It wasn't meant to be like a horror film to some degree, or at least scare. I won't say horror, like at least scary, like shock you or something like that. I didn't feel that with this film at all. That, and you don't have the famous phrase, it's alive, or anything like that. Or at least as far as I'm aware of, I didn't hear it in the film or anything. So, I mean, again, it has a horror theme, but I didn't think it was like scary or anything. Overall, I would say I definitely enjoyed Netflix's Frankenstein and all. I thought it was a good monster film and definitely another take on the classic monster character and all. At its best, though, I think Oscar did a good job playing Victor Frankenstein, and Jacob, I thought, did a good job playing the creature. I thought the world that Del Toro created looked fascinating, since he also helped write the story, everything like that. And I like the fact how the story is broken into two parts. You learn Victor, the creator side, and then you learn the creature, which often we refer to as Frankenstein, his side in terms of what he was doing. So I really like that they did that. But at its worst, though, I will say I didn't find the movie to be scary at all. I mean, yes, it does have a horror theme to it and everything, but if you're expecting like a scary horror type, like The Exorcist or something like that, you might be a little bit disappointed if that's the kind of film you're hoping to get. But in either way, I still came away pleased watching this movie nevertheless. It will be interesting to see if Del Toro maybe tries any other monsters characters for maybe Netflix, whether they do an actual sequel to this film. I highly doubt they will, or something else, though. But still, it is very interesting nevertheless, though. It is a little unfortunate to some degree that this is on Netflix. While I know Netflix has this policy of not putting their films or theaters, or do very little when it comes to putting their films on theaters, because this would have been a nice film to put on. I think it would be nice to see Netflix, change some of their approach to that. I mean, I have heard that this was in theaters, though. I didn't get a chance to watch it if it did come out in theaters and everything, but still, it would have been nice to see Netflix, maybe put more effort in putting some of their movies into theaters. I mean, we've seen Apple do much more effort than that, though. But in either case, though, I did come away pleased with Frankenstein, though. I thought it was a good movie, though. I definitely like the world that Del Toro created. It'll be interesting if he teams up with Netflix again and does another, horror-like film or something, whether it's similar to Frankenstein or something completely different, though. But in either case, though, I enjoyed Netflix's Frankenstein. Okay, this concludes my review / thought on Netflix's Frankenstein movie. And again, these are my opinion. What are yours? What are your thoughts about Netflix's Frankenstein? Did you get a chance to watch the movie by any chance? Did you thought it was good by any way? Did you thought that they made the right choice with the cast and characters, such as Oscar playing Victor Frankenstein and all? Do you like the art style or the direction Del Toro was going with this film in any way? You like how the story was broken into 2 parts and everything? Do you agree with what I said in this video? Do you disagree? Do you have a difference of opinion? As always, sound off in the comment section below. Let me know what you think. And if you do like this video, I hope you hit the like button. I would appreciate it. And I hope you do subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you do, make sure you hit the bell icon for notifications of any new videos I put up. Also, feel free to share this video if you want to, and feel free to donate to my channel if you like. You could do it through PayPal Me, Patreon, or Steam Labs. Links will be in the description of this video, assuming you're watching this on YouTube or Patreon. And I will see you again next time when I do another video. Hopefully that'll be soon. Until then, from Southern California, I wish you all a good day then. Bye!